You have been here for 5 weeks so that you can settle in your father also
Yes.
properly here at Kriti.
Yeah.
So we are glad that you chose Kriti.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. But can you also share why you chose Kriti in India compared to an elder care in the US?
Yeah. So my sister and I, we started talking about, taking care of, providing care for my dad.
Okay.
In around maybe September or October time frame, and we were looking for care for him from a perspective of someone that was with him all the time, could be with him all the time, someone that could take care of him, understood a very cultural aspect of being in a family, and also an environment there where doctors are available and are not just there to from a perspective of business, but they're also like looking at the patient from a perspective of a person, right? Taking care of them. And also an environment that felt very cohesive together. And, we looked at a variety of elder care facilities in US, and price was one thing. So in US, almost everything has a very high price tag. And it can become prohibitive in some ways. But let's forget the price tag, because for us, we were able to remove that as an equation. Like we could afford if we had to,
US,
right?
Yeah.
To figure out a way to afford it. But the biggest blocker for us was the fact that the care was very similar. You had doctors, you had nurses, you had people that took care of things. Everyone had their own room, great aesthetics. You had events that were planned throughout the day. You had breakfast, lunch, dinner. So most of the elements that goes into what accounts for a care, in terms of minimal care, somewhat care or a lot of care.
Yes.
And those elements are there. But the biggest difference is that in those events and the population that you're hanging out with, they have not shared the same history that my father has, right?
Yes.
They've watched Clint Eastwood movies.
Yes.
My dad has watched Amitabh movies.
Yes.
Okay. My dad understands Punjab. My dad understands Delhi, Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan. These people understand Georgia, Florida, Miami.
Yes.
Right? They know Hollywood movies back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. My dad knows Bollywood movies. So there are cultural nuances. And the food itself is pasta, chicken parmesan, right? A sandwich or a fish fillet.
And he wants
And it's not dal, sabji, stuff like that, right? So there are nuances. And so ultimately the blocker for us was that even if we were able to afford it, even if my dad was able to figure out the cultural nuances, the every day of eating of something that is not truly what he's been eating his entire life would eventually become an issue. And so the next logical step was looking at those type of facilities in US, because there are facilities like that, and also in India. And we found some facilities in Florida, and also in Illinois, and to be honest, there's one in New Jersey as well. I think where you're from.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
The Indian one, right?
The Indian facilities.
Yes.
But there are the way they're set up and maintained are doable. But when we were comparing it with the facilities here, the 24/7 help
is
right?
not there.
Someone that can be with you at all times, and where doctors are also available and also driving the process is not actually there. So if you became sick, let's say not really sick, but sick enough, you will still have to figure out a way to get support from a doctor, which may or may not be at that facility. So there are nuances of it based on where my dad was in terms of the type of care he was looking for.
Yeah.
It actually works really well for certain type of population that are okay with a type of care that works for them.
Yes.
For my dad, type of care that we think he needed, it wouldn't have worked out very well. When we looked at a variety of places in the metro areas of India, I looked at Mumbai, I looked at Chandigarh, obviously Delhi area, Delhi NCR. I also looked at Chennai area.
Wow,
I have
you did your research.
Yeah, a bunch of friends from Chennai. One of my friend's friend also had a similar care requirement that he needed about 8 years ago. He found an NGO in Hyderabad, and he also advised me in how to kind of manage this. So I was very thankful of that. But my point is that when I looked at all the facilities, Gurgaon seemed right because a lot of my dad's immediate family is right around here in Gurgaon, Delhi NCR or Punjab. It just made sense. It also would allow me to establish him faster and for me to establish myself faster, right?
Yes.
I can transition faster also because I'm from the similar area. The next logical step was, where in the NCR area do I want to settle? So there are a few. I won't name names, but there are some really nice ones that are very well set up, have a good process, good structure, and aesthetically they're just unbelievable, right? It would be the exact same kind of framework as I would get in the US. From a price perspective, totally affordable. But, my sister was here for 45 minutes at Kriti. She was at the other two places for a half an hour each. My sister and I prepared a hell a lot before she came here, to see. And I didn't think she spent a lot of time thinking, implicitly, just the conversations, walking around, she knew this was the place. Kriti was the place. Because she felt, even though she only had a few conversations, she could feel a very natural kind of family environment where everyone had a role to play, but everyone also wanted to take care of their situation, their responsibility in a very responsible manner, where they were willing to stretch a little bit because they cared for somebody, right? So the difference really was the type of care. The other places, the care was equally good, but it wasn't at a personal level. We felt, and my sister felt, that this was more personal. And to be frank, I was here for 5 weeks. I've spent enough time working with you guys all, and one of the reasons, I think I've mentioned this to you guys honestly, the reason I want to spend 5 weeks here and kind of come here almost on a daily basis for the first 3 weeks was I really wanted to understand, how do you guys operate? I'm a consultant. I walk into organizations and I have seen different ways organizations drive their value proposition or deliver their value proposition, and I wanted to understand, how do you guys do? And I think by the third week I really understood the role that everyone plays, how they go out of their way, where you have opportunities to become better.
Yes, I'm so glad you...
and scale, etc. So I feel like that, I gave you a very long answer, but that is exactly how...
Thanks for that. No, I'm so glad you felt the same way, because when I know the luxury places you're talking about, and when I also came to Kriti, I visited those places, but the homey feeling that I got here, that everybody's like a home, that's how I felt here, at home. So those places are providing you with a hotel room and hotel staff, but you're not feeling at home. So that's what I like. So I'm glad. And I just want to take a moment to thank you that you're sharing